And prepare he will as we look down to the bottom half of the remaining bracket. Up next, it's the two guys that need only 3 letters to explain to the world who they are. Standing by right now, let's bring them onto the stage. First up, it's Hwa. 36-year-old from Minnesota, Koopa's favorite, who explain to us exactly how he came up with that handle.
So I've loved Korean language and culture for a long time, and probably about 15 years ago playing World of Warcraft, came up with a pyromancer name, and Hwa meaning fire, Hwasong meaning Mars or God of War. So I decided to use that, and I've been using it as my screen name ever since.
Well, Hwa's going to have his work cut out for him. He may love Korean culture, but he's not going to love the Korean that's looking to send him home in this single elimination tournament. Let's welcome Sai, 28-year-old student who talked about his style of play before the tourney began.
I think my style is very aggressive because I don't like the violent probe. So I just try to minimize the possibility of the violent probe. And to do that, I try to outspeed the enemies and try to cleave them. So don't try to give them any chance to proking. So yes, super aggressive.
You ready for this,
We'll
Brian?
see exactly how he approaches the draft in the interest of preventing himself from being faced with that violent proc. What do you guys expect to see, given what he just told us about his style of play?
That's actually my favorite play. Favorite way to play too, but some players just don't have that chance because they don't have those runes that he has. So he's
set up well to execute that vision.
Oh, yeah.
With his monster box.
monster box and rune quality and luck.
He's got the whole package there.
Right, and that's what we go back now, let's digress. Hwa has said that, you know, he's got that more of like aggressive blitzkrieg mentality.
Yeah.
You think up against someone like Sai here, that's what you need to do. You have to try and come out, you have to kind of do something that's maybe not as traditional, and maybe you just get lucky. Maybe like Hwa had said.
Well, is it a beat him at his own game kind of thing and just see?
It's tough when you have the rune quality that Sai has to even beat him at his own game. You have to kind of do something that's a little bit different, maybe non-traditional. You surprise him with a different unit. To beat him at his own game when he has so many different types of units that do the same thing, it's even tough to pick his units because he can still manage to kind of have the same type of like strategy.
So Clay, I'm going to put you into the hot seat right now and say you're sitting on Hwa's box here and you have to figure out how to combat all that rune quality that Sai brings to the table. Which way are you going if I give you the first pick?
Well, it looks like he's going with Bastet right now, but I would have probably picked Ganymede and tried to take out a little bit more of a control or survivability type thing. Maybe give him the first turn and then figure out how I want to come back from it and hope for maybe a violent proc into a Veljul or something where you're cleansing yourself and, you know, from there. But it looks like Sai he's not doing like a super speed comp, although that Molong and the Ganymede are probably extremely fast, more than
Especially the frigate,
probably
now that
think.
it has a speed lead on the table
But yeah,
with the Yara pick.
Hwa is definitely going more YOLO and, like you said, blitzkrieg style, as he said in his interviews.
Right, and I like that he's kind of saving his last 2 picks with like what type of like a bruiser damage dealer is going to bring. It kind of just puts Sai into a spot where he doesn't exactly know what he's drafting against. You know, he's got the Bastet frigate, you know, 2 attack bar boosters, attack buffer. Ciara has a lot of different ways she can be played, so he needs big picks from Hwa right now.
So I see Hwa going more aggressive than Sai is. However, Sai still has 1 more pick left, and we'll see what he uses.
Desarian, that's a good. I mean, that's a good pickup against units like Ragdoll and Iris, which leads us to believe maybe he's not going to ban those. And he ends up banning the Ciara. He does not want to try and give Hwa even a chance to take the first turn. Sai's Molong and Gani might be faster than the Bastet or the frigate. We'll have to wait and see.
We'll see without the speed lead.
I know,
it could be
might
faster.
be close. It's going to come down to every little bit of speed that these players have been grinding out in the dungeons and in the raids over the last, you know, just years worth of time.
Feels like we could have a longer than usual match here based on...
Or really fast. These guys are really heavy.
Looks like Hwa does get the first turn with Frigate, able to get all of his skills off before Sai gets anything going.
It was close though. It was really close.
Lands the silence on Ganymede, which is exactly what he needed, and already doing massive damage to the Ganymede, stunning the Molong.
Yep,
That's exactly what Hua needed. He is in a really good spot for this first couple
Yeah, the
turns.
Frigate
here.
was able to move twice before Molong was even able to go once because of the Bistet attack bar boost. After Frigate attack bar boosted himself, it's a lot of boosting, a lot of tick advantage there.
Yeah, the 50% boost from Frigate is just amazing. And then also now, anytime that Sai is attacking him, he has that ragdoll there. If he lands a couple crits, it'll boost him even more.
Decision. He just chooses not to play Molong second or the third there.
Super interesting choice there, not to go with the second skill and at least remove some of those attack.
Oh, the violent
buffs.
proc from Gani. You knew it was coming. Steel Magic. Who do you pick?
Now Sai's got a decision to make to potentially win him this match now, coming back from the YOLO composition that Hua is running to basically essentially do what I was saying that Hua should have done against Sai if he were to build a faster comp.
Right, this is exactly where Hua doesn't want to be. He does not want to give Ganymede a chance to get control. He doesn't want Molong to potentially strip his buffs from Bistet or get any stuns. And Iris here with a one-turn defense break with Xing Zi about to take a turn. It's not looking good.
That Wind
for
Monkey
Iris.
King doing a lot of
damage.
proccing there
Yeah,
and a
10%
lot of
on
damage.
Turn one, that's a lot.
However, Hua's answering right back. Could potentially get rid of the Ganymede, does not. Decides to ventilate.
Better, which is a
Better.
smart choice to
I
keep
like
immunity
that
going.
choice
They'll
as
have the
well.
option to res in cases Wind Fairy King does die. You know, he's thinking the long game. Ragdoll could hit really hard here. But, you know, Sai's got a lot of stats, whether it's speed, HP, and defense, which is a lot of effective life. Not even Ragdoll can get a kill shot on that Wind Fairy King.
So Hua, in this position, if you were Hua, what would you be doing?
Just nothing that he can really do because Ragdoll's dead, like right here. So it's just gonna be 2 versus 4.
What if he
and-
does get low enough, though? Can't Ragdoll one-shot someone?
Right. I think he. Oh yeah, this is.
Oh,
He does have that ignore defense with the second skill, but
I think his skills were reset there. I don't think he had
Oh, yeah.
available. Or he's just barely over 30%. It wasn't able to put it on.
He's down now, and I think that's it for Hua. What do you say, Hua?
I think the only way that he could have won was from the beginning, having better luck.
Yeah, he had good momentum in the beginning. Right.
Yeah.
He did.
Yeah, once you fall out, there's almost no coming back in a Hua situation.
Interesting, however, that as the draft was taking place, it seemed like you guys felt as though Hua had a decent amount of hope up against the comp that that he was facing with Sai, and yet Sai managed to overcome what appeared to have been a potential disadvantage.
There's a lot of bad RNG, like the monkey stunning Iris right away and stunning the Iris again.
Yeah.
And
yeah.
there's a lot of-
Neutralizing.
Hua already going with a much different comp than he had previously because Sai got the first turn and picked Bistet, which was Hua's first pick last round.
And this comes back to knowing your opponent. There may have been more to what we were understanding on why Hua picked Bistet first. Might be one of Sai's favorite picks there, and you can
Yeah.
see that with him picking her first.
A much more aggressive team coming from Sai this time, being able to get the best at Bistet first round, and goes with a Tableau again, which we didn't see work out too well previously, so we'll see how it fares for Sai.
A lot of heavy hitting units on Hua's team right now. But if Sai has one of those control type teams, are those units going to get any turns?
Nice choice with the Raccoony, but then a Zeros Alicia combination
You're going to
with
see a lot of damage right now.
and they are going to do a lot of damage. A Hua Dam, though, I like that choice as well. So I think they have enough sustainability where that Hua Dam is going to be basically countering the Alicia, so that way she doesn't get another turn unless she's doing as much damage. But it looks like they're actually going. Looks like they're actually banning the Alicia,
That's
which
the-
of course is the water monster
Yep, that's the
going
best
against the
option.
three fire monsters. You got it. Hua.
Yep, that's why he picked the fire units because he was because he knew that Tiana was the hard-hitting unit. So
He knows that Tiana is the hard hitting unit. Is it damage Tiana?
oh yeah, I think he knows.
defense breaks on everybody.
That is a rough position to be in, Zeros. It's like, what do? Do you go for the stun or do you go for the attack?
Wow, that is a lot of damage. And now he could potentially one-shot him with Fiery Breath on this second time. Oh, this is over. This is over.
Just like that.
That's done.
Sai showing us why he's one of the top players and how he finished seconds in the first season.
Insane. That was a really
that was
smart
impressive.
play by Sai there to not use the third skill from Basset, but use the second skill to get those defense breaks. And then huge damage coming from Zeros, which was crazy to see without an attack boost.
Yeah, sometimes when you find yourself in those drafts, you get too deep into the draft, and based on what type of drafts that they have, sometimes it's tough to get out of those positions. And unfortunately, that's where Hua found himself.
It was a tough enough prospect for Hua to get through Sai, but then once that second game draft was complete, you guys saw a little bit of the writing on the wall. Some RNG favorability, of course. Hua, you felt like that's as fast as it was going to go in that second game?
Was there no will runes on Hua's team?
No?
Okay.
Well, he used the Tiana, right?
No, Tiana moved. Wait, was
She
the
moved
first one
first.
to
Yeah,
move?
Tiana
Oh,
moved
okay.
first. Yeah.
Okay, I see.
Yeah. Then the Bastet would attack the boosted the Tiana, and then she was able to get that
Oh,
back
okay.
afterwards. Yeah, it was quite the setup.
Man, what can you do against that?
Not much. Go tankier, which he already went with 4 bruisers, so it's hard to say.
It's not every day that you see 4-on-4 and you say the match is done. It was just kind of foregone conclusion once Sai was able to execute as he punches his ticket into the semifinals and will await.